It's July in Zone 6B and you'd swear we were in Miami, except it's the Hudson Valley of New York. Welcome to the height of the tropical season. Palms, bananas, blooms, and a few garden divas that are doing way too much. Let me show you what's thriving, what's struggling, and what just might need a cocktail and a little shade. Hi everyone, it's Tim. Welcome back to my channel. It is really hot again this week, and it looks like it is cloudy and hazy and foggy out there. And sadly, I have to say, it's not fog, it's not clouds, it's actually the smoke from Canadian fires. So if you look behind me here, you can barely see the mountains back there. And then this morning, I couldn't even see the bridge. I couldn't even see across the river. That's how bad it is. And oddly, it's going to get worse in the next couple of days. So I am filming this. So if you're watching this on Saturday, I'm filming this 7 days prior on Sunday because I'm a little worried I'm not going to be able to get a whole lot of content in this week if I guess I should call it smog is that bad. And what I want to do this week is take you through the garden and do a proper end of July, beginning of August tour. I just wasn't expecting all this smoke. Today, I can't smell it. Yesterday, I could kind of smell something. And tomorrow, they said we're actually going to be able to smell burning wood. So yeah, I have that to look forward to. Yay! So I don't know what the plants will think about all of this. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, I don't know. But yeah, I hope all of you are having a great week, maybe better than I am. It's just here in the Northeast. I don't think it's anywhere else in the US right now that I know the Midwest had bad smog from the fires as well. It just all seems to be coming down from Canada because sadly they have all these fires. And I know Greece has had a few fires as well this season and a couple of other things. Of course, the train is back there. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you so much for identifying some of my plants last week. Had a lot of interaction with everybody. I was really, really happy with that. It's so much fun hearing what's going on in your garden. It's so much fun when you guys tell me what I should do, what I shouldn't do. Everybody has their opinions, and it really does help me out as a gardener, and I hope I'm helping you out as a gardener as well. One of my viewers brought up that she is moving to South Carolina in the US, and of course I've got zone envy like crazy like that if she's moving to South Carolina, but she is specifically looking for a Chilean wine palm hybrid like I have, a European fan palm, and I'm trying to think if she wanted something else. And probably a Trachycarpus. Who wouldn't want a Trachycarpus? So if any of you know a good grower in South Carolina, I think there's several, and especially if they have a Chilean wine palm hybrid. I know that's a little bit harder to find than a European fan palm, but she is looking for that. I told her I would ask the audience who would know the best. And so I'm hoping some of you down in South Carolina. I don't know what town she's moving to. I know South Carolina is not that big because I used to summer at Kiowa Island long ago when it first came about. It used to be this wild, crazy island way back in the 70s. It was so much fun. There were palm trees everywhere. There were alligators everywhere. It's kind of a miracle I'm alive because my brothers and I would spend all day long stalking alligators to take pictures of them, seeing them, stalking sharks. It was such a great time in my life. And this is before the whole island was developed. So if any of you have been to Kiowa Island, back then, only a small portion of the island was developed. You could actually go on jungle tours on the rest of the island. That's how desolate it was. It was so beautiful back then. It's still beautiful now. I've been back, but it's very, very different now. Now those houses just go all the way to the end, where that used to just be the wild, wild side of the garden. I miss it, but I have so many pictures and so many memories from that. But I used to lie in the pool and look up at the sable palmettos and think, one day I am going to have a great pool and palm trees. And I was actually thinking it would be a Kiowa Island, and little did I know it would actually be in New York State. What an odd what an odd thing to happen, that it would end up in New York and not in South Carolina, in Kiowa. But it is a beautiful, beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to go out there, it's so much fun, and it's so much fun driving out there because the live oaks on Johns Island, I think it's Johns Island, I'm pretty sure Johns Island, are hanging over the road, or they used to hang over the road on the way out there. And it was just this beautiful, beautiful drive from Charleston. I love summers there. I love winters there too. It was just amazing. Anyway, let's go. The sun is peeking through the smog a little bit right now. Let's get to the garden. I'm going to take you through the whole thing. So this is the real deal, the garden tour of July. I rarely show the front garden just because the deer do a rampage through it daily. But I have a few things that are working. Here is my big leaf magnolia that the roofers actually dropped shingles on. It has bounced back in a big way. The leaves are huge on it. And I have my Agave Americana. I actually called it a Yucca Americana in last week's video. I'm correcting myself. I know better. I don't know why I said that. It is huge. It is big. It is staying out here all winter long. I'm going to cover it. Several of you asked about the yuccas, or the agaves by my pool. I keep making that mistake. I'm bringing those in, but there are two out here that I will leave and cover for the first time. And over here on the hill is my Magnolia Ashie. This is the one that had the big, beautiful bloom on it. It seems okay. I don't think it's grown a whole lot this year, but it's produced a lot of leaves from nothing when I bought it. And in this planter here is another Agave Americana, just not the same variety as the other one. It is still in a planter. I'm going to bring it in this year. My goal was to plant it in the ground this year, but I just couldn't find the perfect place for it, and I decided this one is still movable, even though it's large. I can get it in. And here is my blue agave, what I call my tequila agave because it's in what you make tequila from. And it's going to stay outside too because it's just way too big. It needs to be outside. I will cover it. And here is my crepe myrtle that Chris gave me. It has survived, even with the heat. And it actually looks like it might have a few buds on it. So I will, if it flowers this week, I will show you. And then I don't talk about my Fiddle Leaf Figs that much that I brought out. You have to let these really adjust to the sun, but once they do, they will thrive in the sun. Here they get partial. And this one on the right was one of my friends that he wasn't very happy with it because it got damaged, and then I've had it outside for 2 years now, and it has definitely made a comeback. In fact, it's actually pretty tall, and I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put it inside because it's getting so tall. It's definitely well above 8 feet. I think I can put it in the room where my parrots are. I think we will see. But they are doing well, and these are really pretty, and I like them framing the entrance to my house out here in the front. Coming into the backyard where all the fun is. This is definitely my domain here. I've got my bananas and alocosias and elephant ears and bird of paradise all in here. It's just a gloomy day with all this smog, and there's my Cuban Royal Palm. It is growing. I thought it would grow a lot more this summer with all the heat, but it's growing. It's just not growing as fast, which is actually good because it has to come inside too. And everything seems very happy out here right now, the heat. And my Roebelenii, which I'm
featured, by the time you're watching this will have been featured on my midweek video, because I keep getting so many questions about that. So if you have questions about the Roebelenii, look at my midweek video that I post on Wednesdays.
I was squeezing back in here for my midweek video that I did on my Roebelenii, and when I did, I noticed that my tropical ginger was blooming. And I would have never seen that because you can't see it from over there. You actually have to be kind of back in the weeds. And one thing I do want to point out way back in here among the sad Pedicides is that if you will look here, that is one of my tropical pomegranates that I put some lights around and put a tarp on, and I didn't think it came back. I noticed a little while ago it did. It's still alive. It's not in the best location among these Pedicides, but if it grows a little bit taller, it will be in pretty good shape back here. So I have 2 tropical pomegranates, not just one.
And that's my big Washingtonia robusta. Not my biggest one, but the one by the house that is leaning a little bit. My Brugmansia, Musa Basjoo, and I have some papyrus here that was in the pond. I don't recommend putting it in the pond at all. I have a couple of them that I pulled out. I will never put them in the pond again, even in a pot. They just invade like crazy. These are my spiral steps here that are always covered in everything. These Brugmansias I need to fertilize like crazy so I can get a nice second flush of flowers. And I love this plant. It smells so good. It's just, especially in the morning when I get up very early, and the smell is just wafting through the house. One of my fig trees back there that I bring inside. All my Musa Basjoo. Some yuccas thrown in there. These are tall. The tallest are the ones just mere feet from this facing the river, but these are getting very tall. I'm hoping by September they're up over the second story window. I love this space in the garden. I think it's just a really pretty space. And there's my unknown Trachycarpus that is growing so fast. This came in the mail from Plant Delights, and it is just taken off. So it's skinny and tall. And here's my hardy pomegranate. I got several questions last week about this. Yes, it is the hardy variety. I do cover it with a tarp and some frost cloth, but I don't heat it in the winter just to help it through. Here are seeds on my Trachycarpus Fortunei. Got quite a few seeds on this. There's a fig on the right. It has yet to produce anything, but it also died back to the ground right there this year, just like the rest of the figs. Here is my European olive. I still have olives. Fingers crossed. Let's hope they keep developing. I still have quite a few. I keep thinking too much rain, too much water, too much heat. And then this is my other Trachycarpus I've been worried about. I don't think it looks good. There is new growth, and the new growth looks good. It's definitely growing. It just looks horrible. And I don't know if it's not getting enough water. I'm watering it, I'm fertilizing it, I'm trying to get it to look a little bit better. It just looks weak to me. Here you can see there's new growth. It's got plenty of new growth on it. It's not like, so maybe it just needs to catch up. Maybe these were slightly damaged in the winter somehow, even though I protected it. But I have pointed out before that the roots are all showing here. Now, everybody said something different. People said, cover it up, don't cover it up. I bought some sand, and I'm going to kind of layer around it. And hopefully that will be a good thing. I'm not going to cover it up too much, but that's what I'm going to try. The water lilies are all blooming. It was my goal to buy tropical water lilies this year again, and I failed. And now it's too late really to do so. So next year, If anybody has some recommendations, I'm going to order them in the spring and have them. But these are the hardy water lilies, and they are very pretty. And I have not even fertilized them this year. I'm very behind in everything. The fish are not being very friendly because I fed them this morning, so they're all happy right now. That's Evita, my dog, coming down the stairs. And there's some dahlias, an agapanthus that's blooming that my friend Miriam gave me. My spindle palm is really growing, which is funny because it's in a pot in the ground. This African lily bloomed a while ago on one side. Now the other plant that's on the other side is blooming. And my staghorn fern up there. I do love that. And I love this arch with grapes on it. I think this, like I said before, it's a really pretty part of the garden. And of course, my Gunnera, hopefully a manicata. A lot of you have chimed in and said, yes, it's a manicata. Let's hope it's a manicata. I'm just going to keep reminding everybody, keep looking at it and let me know. Everything's growing really well. My hardy ginger here, and my problem Trachycarpus right there. A little bit of sun showing through on this smoggy day. My 2 tree ferns, one is in a planter. It made a big comeback from not looking good over the winter. And then my other one that's in the ground that I have to cover, and I will be, if anyone has advice for covering a tree fern in zone 6B, please chime in on that, because I'm going to have to do some research soon, because that evil thing, winter, will be coming in a couple of months. And of course, my Chilean wine palm hybrid, the star of my garden, I think. There's so much new growth on this, and I definitely, the fact that it's a hybrid and not just a Chilean wine palm or Jabea, I think is really stimulating the growth on this. I just am constantly amazed how large this has got so quickly. It's so stunning. Some of my Trachycarpus that I grew from seed, which all need to be repotted. That's the thing with lots of baby palm trees. You have to figure out what you're going to do with them. And some of my red bananas, Cintes, that were also looking horrible at the beginning of the season, but they've come back. But here's back to the Jabea hybrid, trying to show some of the new growth by showing you the top of it there. It's just such a pretty palm. Highly recommend that to anyone. My Ponderosa lemon. There is a lemon or two on here. I just have to find it. Yes. So, and they get huge. That's the fun thing about this. And this one's going to stay outside too for the first time ever. My Chamaerops humilis. If you saw my midweek video 2 weeks ago, I featured that. It has seeds on it. I'm just going to wait for them to turn red, and my bamboo is getting so tall. And this yucca that I bring inside has some brand new growth coming from the bottom. My Norfolk Island pines, there's 2 of them. One was a gift over 10 years ago. The other was my neighbor gave it to me. And then just some of my hydrangea varieties blooming on the hill. I think they're really pretty. The butterflies and the hummingbirds are all loving them right now. I always feel like the end of July, August is a transition period for perennials, but they are still all blooming right now, and soon the tropicals will definitely take over because the annuals will stop blooming and not look as nice. And back behind this Alacosia, you can see the Petasites is not happy at all with all this heat. I keep watering them, but it's just too much sun, too much heat right here. And they tend to, in August, kind of just burn out, regardless of whether the weather has been kind to them or not. And some more of my Incentes here. And these all were in such bad shape over the winter, the way I stored them. I'm going to do something different this year to try to maintain them, because I'm just glad they came back, because I thought they were dead. They just looked horrible. Beyond belief horrible. And walking down to the pool, my Chinese fan palm. It's got some nice new growth on it. This is another really easy palm to deal with and over winter. I probably need to feature this one on a midweek video as well. I've got a couple of stories about some friends who have these in the ground up here in New York as well. My Chamaerops cerifera that everyone helped identify, my flying dragon orange, and this is the one-off that's down here, and the others are on the way down. I've got two of them back there. My Musa Basjoo, we think it's Musa Basjoo even though it has some red in it. Just please feel free to chime in as well. It could be a slightly different variety. Not really sure, but they all came back very nicely. And my very, very wide, it's so big, Washingtonia robusta. I don't think it's grown that tall this year. I just think it grew out. And then my Phoenix dactylifera back there. It's just hidden a little bit, but it's definitely growing. I need to feature that at some point as well. That was grown from seed from edible dates. One of my big Trachycarpus Fortunei. I need to clean up all the flower stems there that I have yet to cut those off. I have to get on the ladder. It's that tall. And some of my Plumarias in here. I've got a couple that are going to bloom, which I'm excited about. And unfortunately, I don't know what varieties these are. I'm one of those people, I bought some of these in Houston. I bought some of them in the Midwest. I don't even remember now. That's the bad part. My Bismarckia is back there. And this is another one that's going to bloom. Alex on Long Island says the really hot summers make them bloom, and I think he's right. My Yucca rostrata, still got to get seeds from that. And my sable minor is actually growing this year. I've had this for a good 4 or 5 years, and it did nothing for a long, long time, but it has made it. I've done minimal protection on it. This Plumaria is still got a few blooms left on it. It's been blooming for a while. That's my gigantic sunflower over there, towering over one of my very small Bismarckias I got online many years ago, and it's growing, but very, very slow, like super slow. And this is my Italian cypress. My friend Andrew in Germany has them. We keep talking about them. I'm going to bring it in. I'm not ready to try to cover that. And this is a sable palmetto I got online a few years ago from Texas. I've got a couple of them. They're growing. They're slow, but they've definitely grown. And I still want a big sable palmetto. One day I will have a big one, like these big Trachycarpus Fortunei that are well over 12 feet now. They're probably a good 14, maybe even 15 feet tall. It's just hard to tell in this video. And these figs, brown turkey, have made a comeback, hoping for a mild winter this year, so I actually will have edible figs. And another sable palmetto out here among the zinnias. And I've got my Christmas poinsettia here. Anybody has any advice on that? I just have it planted in the ground for now. My Agave Americana. This is a ribbon palm, I believe. I have to look at the label on the planter that's sunk down in the ground. And one of my problem Washingtonia robustas that got damaged from the snow. I don't know if it's going to make it. It's still green. It's still very strong. It's just not branching out at all. And then a lot of my amaryllis back in there that hopefully will bloom next year. My butea, my Pindo palm with the cannas in the background. Back in here, hidden, I have my Livistona nitida. Eventually, I want to put that in the ground permanently. It's in a pot. That's a Washingtonia robusta foliifera mix, and that's another Pindo I grew from seed. And then my tropical bananas, probably a Cavendish, a dwarf Cavendish. I'm hoping I get some bananas this year, and there's another Washingtonia robusta and another butea Pindo there. That one's growing really fast. And then I have some more Washingtonia robustas up there in pots. Oddly, I still have lavender blooming, and I think I've told you this before, my lavender just doesn't do well unless it's right up against a wall here, and it's got the edge of the wall from the upper part. And here's one of my edible dates, palms, medjool date that I grew from seed. I need to plant that. It's not liking the pot too much. My Madagascar palm in my cactus garden that is filled with weeds. I've got to get in there and weed as soon as it just gets a little bit cooler. And I still have a bloom there, which is just crazy. This is one of my unknown Musa Basjoos or something, if anyone could tell by that what it is. My monkey puzzle, which continues to do great. And it just, this year it got much thicker. It just looks much stronger. And even after the bad winter we had, it's a survivor. It seems very, very happy at the moment. I love this plant. And I still have my little one up by the house that I have to put in the ground somewhere. I just need to find the perfect location for it. And the little bit of phlox I have is all right here. As I said before, I tried to put it on the hill. It didn't happen. Didn't like it there. And there's one of my needle palms. That's the one that died and came back to life. And yeah, the phlox is just really pretty. There's some bees in here I want to show you. And then my Mule Palm. I did clear out in front of it a little bit. I still need to clear out some more, but it has new growth on it. I think the fertilizing is really helping. So you can see in here, it looks a little better. I'm feeling better about it. It's one of the sunflowers that just appeared out of nowhere. It's getting bigger and bigger. And this is my Phoenix Sylvestris. It's getting a little hidden back in here, but there's lots of new growth on it. It is definitely growing. It's definitely getting more of a trunk. So it's having a good year. I think the heat is helping it. And then of course my big Washingtonia robusta. I can actually stand under it now. I really want to clean up the side, but it takes so long, the trunk, but I can now stand under these. Like, this is so great that it is fun to stand under, and it's gotten that big. But of course it's going to be lots of fun covering it in the fall. And that's my other needle palm right there. But I think it looks so nice by the pool. I would love to have more of them if they weren't so difficult to cover. And then we know the shelf life is not forever on those, because eventually they're going to get too big. My bougainvillea that I was advised to chop it back. I can't remember who told me that, but I did. It's looking better. And then my Canabis is still growing. I still need to do a lot of research on that, but it seems very, very happy right now. I have been watering it constantly, keeping it nice and moist, because several people said you cannot let that dry out. And I have been very diligent. I think my Magnolia has finally finished blooming. It has grown so much this year. And then after the blooms, you get these nice little pods there. They're so interesting looking. Really kind of fun. But yeah, it just kept blooming and blooming and blooming. And I'm actually thinking about creating a whole channel just on my caboose renovation. So those of you who like renovation and things like that, you might enjoy it, but it probably won't be too many things about tropical plants because I'm going to try to keep that separate because not everybody likes everything. And while I'm out here, you can see the Hudson River, my grape vineyard down there, my vegetables. Let's go over and look. I've been getting a lot of tomatoes. I will show you those. I have them all stored inside on the counter trying to get ripe, but there are quite a few tomatoes on here. They're not quite ripe yet here, but inside there's quite a few. And I grew all these from seed from tomatoes last year. Let's just look in here. Yeah, I'm gonna have lots of tomatoes. And I usually make tomato sauce with them. And then up here, these are all potatoes in here. I've never done potatoes before, so this will be a challenge. And then I've got quite a few butternut squash here growing away. There's some peppers in here hidden in all of this, and then more tomatoes. Just coming up on my deck, just showing you some of the things up here. My star fruit, and even this one that was looking pretty bad is coming back. I have a lot of baby palms up here, some baby hardy pomegranates, baby palms. I think these are all European fan palms. And I have over here my night jasmine has yet to bloom. I keep waiting for it to bloom. You never know when it's going to bloom every year. If any of you have a trick to make it bloom, I would love to know. I keep seeing things like, I hope this will bloom, but I see no buds right now. Some of my peppers over here. This is a Buddha's hand. Here you can see my lotus in here. They seem to be doing okay. They're getting bigger and bigger. And then my Tetrapanex. Everybody thinks it is not a Rex, but if you have an opinion, please throw it in. Most people think it is a steroidal giant based on the leaves, but it is growing really well. There's a Plumaria up here that I got in Palm Springs, a cutting. It has yet to bloom, but maybe it will. And my baby bougainvillea that are gonna go in the ground next year. And then just looking out, the fish. Everything looks so much better after this rainstorm. It hasn't rained in over a week now, so big difference. It's Monday. I'm out here doing some work, and even though the prediction of bad smoke, it is hazy over there if you look. It's hard to see detail, but I can see the mountains, which was better than yesterday. But it's for having a lot of smog, it's a very pretty day today. And the light is pretty nice right now out here by the pool. I'm just going to show you looking up. The sky looks pretty blue right now. That mockingbird that I think loves me, it visits me daily down here and terrorizes me with its loud voice. I'm trying to zoom in. It's somewhere in my Trachycarpus. I don't know where he is right now, but he just goes through every bird call known to mankind. It's just such a crazy. Oh, there he goes. But every time I'm down here, it's like he's got to come visit me. It's almost like he's a tame bird.
So the July 2025 garden tour is in the wrap. It is over. But luckily we still have August and September of a lot of tropical fun left, and a little bit of October too, so plenty of times. We're really only at just beyond the halfway mark of summer. And I want to point out, this is an idea for all of you. If you're looking to be my neighbor, there is a fabulous house for sale just maybe 2 houses away, maybe 1 house away. And it's a very famous house. There's a famous American architect named Philip Johnson. And Philip Johnson did the glass house that's in New Canaan, Connecticut. So look that up. It's a very, very famous house. But anyway, one of his first homes that he did is right here on my street. It's called the Wolf House. And I'm going to put in the link underneath in the comments. The Wolf House, there's a YouTube video about it. It has a really great history. It's an amazing property. It's for sale right now. So if you're like, I feel like living next to Tim or near Tim, that would be a great house to buy if you're interested. And there's also several other homes for sale on this road too. So maybe you could be my neighbor, and then you could come over and help me with palm trees, or borrow palm trees, or take palm trees, because I've got too many. I hope you've had a good week. I hope your garden is doing well. I hope some of you are getting some nice weather. It poured down here just a little bit ago, like you can see the clouds behind me here. And the temperature has actually dropped like 20 degrees. So finally I'm getting a rest from the heat that we've had, like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just so much heat. And so finally we're getting relief, and we're getting some rain because I've been watering constantly. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, please like, it helps the algorithm. And I will see you next week.